My name is Kalie Fernandez-Naughton, and I am interviewing Mr. Naughton, my grandfather, on March 28, 2017. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day and agreeing to speak with me. How are you connected with the local community?
I moved up to this community 31 years ago. I worked in the Cooperstown area, and my wife, your grandmother, had an aunt and uncle that she came up visiting since she was a young child.
Okay. Do you have any experiences that involve Otsego Lake?
Yes. When, I'm going to say 9 years ago,
Okay.
I have a pontoon boat, and it was the 4th of July. I took yourself, your mother and father, your Aunt Cheryl, and your cousin Trista out on the lake, and we were watching the 4th of July fireworks from the boat. And after all the beautiful fireworks, the boat wouldn't start. I had to literally get somebody to tow my big pontoon boat over with their small boat to the lakefront dock, and your father climbed over the fence, tied it up, and your grandmother and I had to pass you and Trista over the fence at the lakefront park because we could not get the boat started and back to the dock where it belonged.
I sadly kind of remember that. What is your most favorite memory of your life in this community?
My most favorite memory? Well, moving up here and having your sister, yourself, and your cousin Trista born and raised in a beautiful community where we were away from New York City and the places it was.
Okay, so what is your education?
I dropped out of school originally in 8th grade and went into the Marine Corps. From there, I went back to school and got my GED. I worked most of my life till my children were all adults. And then my wife and I, my wife went back in 1998, and I went back in 1999 to college at Cooperstown College. So I have a GED and 1 year of college behind me.
Tell me about your jobs in this community, or what were your jobs in this community?
Well, I worked for the Cooperstown Motel. I'd worked there almost 15 years. I did all the maintenance, the plumbing, the electrical, the boilers, any repairs that had to be done, plus the repairs of the house. And I was at the major fire of 1988 when 58 Susquehanna burnt while working at the motel. When I left there, I worked at Otsego Manor for about 2 years, which I truly enjoyed working with the residents. I started working then in 2001 with the village of Cooperstown as a maintenance man for their library building.
Okay. I know you do volunteer work. Can you tell me about that?
I volunteer with the Hartwick Seminary Fire Department. I was with Cooperstown Fire Department for almost 9 years, and I left there and went with Hartwick Seminary, and I've been volunteering with that fire department for 9 years. And before that, during that time, I also used to volunteer at Otsego Manor, the nursing home. Myself and a man named Jim Nutt started the men's club there because a lot of them were veterans, as I am, and they only had ladies to handle the men's club. So Jim Nutt and I, the men could more easily relate to men. And as a veteran, I talked to the veterans. We'd take them on outings. We took them bowling. We took them out for lunch. And I truly enjoyed it till it was sold to Focus.
Do you belong to any organizations in this community?
Yes, I belong to the Cooperstown Veterans Club. I've been a member at the American Legion there since I moved up here 31 years. So I have 31 years with the Cooperstown Vets Club.
What do you do for entertainment in our community?
Well, my wife and I enjoy going out to yard sales or just driving around, going to the parks. And what I love the best is taking yourself and your sister on trips with us. We go to Watsego Lake. We go down to 3 Mile swimming. We just having been retired and being able to do stuff on the spur of the moment, I truly enjoy doing.
Have you seen in the Cooperstown area any changes since you've been here?
Yes, it changed quite a bit. When I first came up here almost 32 years ago, the police officer in the area I was staying at, my wife's aunt and uncle house, and being a stranger in the community, the police officer literally stopped me and asked what I was doing up there and where I was going at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was heading to the store to get a cup of coffee because I was in my wife's aunt and uncle's house, and I didn't think it would be proper just to make a cup of coffee. Now, and I knew everybody that lived in the community. The community is changing. The older people are moving out and going elsewhere, and I don't know as many people in the area as I used to. The neighborhood, and I feel it's changing for the better because it's more versatile than it was 31 years ago.
Okay. Do you know any stories or legends about our area that would be of interest to others?
Yes, I do. As a member of the Vets Club, that we were going through the attic of the Veterans Club on Main Street when we found a picture of some soldier. And the Veterans Club actually started out as the Republic of the Army right after the American Civil War. This soldier's picture that we found is buried in Lakewood Cemetery. He also happened to be a Congressional Medal of Honor winner, which is one of the highest honors given to any military person for their heroics during times of war.
And now that we've asked you that, do you see in the next 10 years any changes that could happen within Cooperstown?
Yes, I see a lot of changes. This school here is going to expand. Where there used to be museums, there are now stores or houses. Every community moves forward, whether it's for the good or the bad, but without change, you're stuck in your old-fashioned ways. And I hope for this community that they keep on moving forward with changes towards the future.
As we're coming to the end of our time together, I have just 2 more questions. What words of wisdom or advice would you give to young people today?
Something my uncle said, and something my mother said years and years ago. Mm-hmm. The first one, my Uncle Joe said, think again before you utter words that cause another's pain, because broken hearts are slow at healing, if they ever heal again. And what my mother had told me years ago is I felt bad because I had no shoes, till I met a man who had no feet. No matter how bad things are, there's always somebody in worse shape. Be thankful for what you have.
Okay. And is there anything else that you would like us to know about your time in this community?
That's a hard question. I met so many interesting people working for the motel, and I met World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, Afghan veterans, and every person you meet, you take something away from that meeting. You learn of what they've been through in their life. And if you can make one person's life better by sitting down and talking or meeting with them, then yes, you took a great deal away from that meeting.
So thank you for meeting with me today. I hope you enjoyed doing this.
I love doing it, and I would do it any time again with you, or your sister, or even Mrs. Russo if she wanted.
Yeah. So thank